Hello aspiring developers, welcome to my YouTube channel, Mars Limit. Today you will learn how to make a meme using your favorite programming language, Python. Let's dive right into it. First things first, we will have to install the Pillow library. This library is used to make it easy to work with images in Python, including opening, editing, creating, and saving them in different formats. To install Pillow, type pip install Pillow into the command prompt. Make sure the P in Pillow is capitalized. After you've installed Pillow, you need to create some assets for your project. I included all the assets I used in this video down in the description. Now, let's start to code. First, we'll import the random to randomize the meme a tad. Then, using the Pillow library, we'll import image, image draw, and image font. The image class allows you to open an image file and resize it to any desired size. The image draw class draws images, unsurprisingly. Image draw functions like putting a sticker on paper. Lastly, image font is useful for putting fonts on your projects. You can make an image with your text on it, but using this class allows you to be able to switch what your text says, its size, and what font you use. Now we import the images. I have an image of a forest and an image of a duck that is 200 by 200 pixels. I only want the duck to be 100 by 100 pixels, however, so I use the resize function. Make sure to rename the images of what your file name is called if you're using your own images. The last line of code makes a list that can store all the frames we'll be using to make our meme. Now it's time to do some animating. To make our duck look like he's walking up to the camera, I'll make a for loop with the range function. We want the range to start with 0, go to 500, and increase by 10 every time. The increased number is the speed at which the duck travels. Inside the for loop, we begin by creating a new frame. We use the copy function to make a copy of the background image. This clears the previous frame. If we didn't do this, there would be a ton of ducks all over the place. Then, since we don't want to directly change the image, we set dframe equal to the duck image. These next few lines are what make the duck appear to come to the camera. We set the duck size using the resize function on the image, plus the y variable from the for loop multiplied by 2. Then for a fun effect, we randomly rotate the duck using the rotate function. All this time, when we were rotating and resizing the dframe variable, the actual frame with the bg.copy hasn't been changed at all. We can fix this by using the paste function. The paste function takes what we were pasting, where it will be pasted, and the image's mask. The mask parameter allows us to use images with transparent backgrounds. Without this, you would just see a duck with a black box around it. Typically, the image and the mask will be the same. In our case, that's the dframe variable. Where you put the image doesn't really matter, as long as the value you're trying to pass is in a decimal and it is within the frame's boundaries. The code I have here centers the duck in the middle of the background. Lastly, we append the frame to the frames list. Now we have randomly rotated the duck right up next to the screen. This next bit of code clears the pass frame, makes a new copy of the original duck image, resizes it, pastes it on the background, and lastly adds it to the list of frames. We are ready to make the meme's caption now. Start by making a new variable called draw. This variable will be imageDraw.draw, which can be used to make squares, circles, triangles, text, you name it. Then, when we load our font files with the imageFont.trueType function. This function takes the file name and the size we want to load our font as. Finally, we draw our font. We start with passing the coordinates. The x-coordinate here is essentially a fancy way of centering the text. We use font.getBbox to get how wide the text "got any grapes" will be. Then we give what text we want to write on the screen and what font object we're using. The last little bit here tells Pillow how thick we want the border to be around the text and what color the border is. For our last loop, we are just pausing the video so the viewer has a chance to read the text on the screen before our video loops back around. This last bit of code is where all the magic happens. First, we define which frame is the first frame, and then we say all the other frames are every frame but this first one. This is how Pillow saves the video. There's not really an explanation to how this works. Then we use first.save. The first parameter is the output file name, and the second parameter is all the other frames. The third is how long each frame will be on the screen. The fourth is how many times the animation will loop. And the last is if you want all the frames to be saved. By default, only the first frame is saved. If you set the loop parameter to 0, the GIF will loop infinitely. If you only want it to loop once, you can set it to 1, and so on. Now you have created your very own meme. You can go ahead and run the Python file, and you should see a GIF titled duck appear in your folder. It may take a second or two to generate the GIF file. Here's what the finished product looks like. If you want the full source code, I included a link in the description for you guys. If you like this video, be sure to check out my website, marsthelimit.com, where I post informative articles on topics such as coding, how computers work, and basic physics concepts. I strive to make my articles and videos enjoyable for young people trying to learn how to make stuff using math and science. Thanks for watching, and as always, be sure to share any feedback with me, as I believe everybody has things they can do better. Until next time, Mars the Limit.